99.3 Nigeria Info Lagos. Good morning to you. Welcome to Dailies today, the second part of the show. I'm Sheriff Quadry.
And I'm Jimi. Disu. Good morning.
That's right. You can watch us live on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 is how you can watch the show on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3. Let's start with our first story of the day. It's coming through from the Vanguard newspaper, page 7 of the Vanguard. Slain YX student, why I flouted traffic laws, bereaved father.
Right. Now, I'm sure some of you saw the video of what happened in the incident in Ibadan yesterday. And the Vanguard reports that the father of the 15-year-old boy who was shot has gone into hiding as he expressed grief and anger over the tragic incident that claimed the life of his son, Kende Alade. If you watch the video, let me remind you, and for those who haven't watched it, this gentleman was driving against traffic, for whatever reason. I will get to it now. Just listen carefully. So the story says that recall that the secondary school student, simply identified as Taiwo, was said to have been hit by a stray bullet, allegedly fired by a yet-to-identified police officer. This reporter is lazy. By now, we should have a name. If you say you don't want to give out the name yet, state it, but don't say yet to be identified. It makes our authorities look completely clueless if you are telling us 24 hours later that the man who shot it, whatever, is yet to be identified. And in any case, I expect that the news people should have used their contacts to fish out the name of. That's what journalism is all about. If you now say that you know the name but you want to conceal it, you say so in brackets, parentheses. Anyway, the incident, you are reminded, occurred around Baggy Market as the officer and the traffic agency officials pursued a fleeing vehicle suspected to be conveying. No, it was not internet fraudsters. The man was in the car with these three 15-year-olds at the back, teenagers, not the Yahoo boys. Because the people that chased him in any case were traffic people on control. They were not your regular police. They were traffic policemen. Anyway, speaking when newsman visited his house, he said, this, I'm quoting the man. He said, I take them to school every day, and then in the afternoon, I pick them up. There were about 5 children in the car. While some were going to the Olatundu area, others were going to Olabidon. When I came out of the house, I needed to pump the tire at a junction close by. As the vulcanizer finished, I entered the car to move, and as I moved, I saw a car moving towards me. I did not know it belonged to the Oyo State Traffic Management Authority. The car moves with a towing vehicle and so on and so forth. So this has to be proven that he didn't know. Then he said, as soon as I saw them, I moved. But they tried stopping me, and in the process, they hit my car. I thereafter put the car in reverse to bypass them. But I did not know 4 vehicles were chasing me. As their towing vehicle, you see, I said so, hit my car, I maneuvered and escaped, but the thing I heard was a gunshot. My son was shouting, Daddy, Daddy, in the back seat, but I tried to caution him to keep quiet as we had left the scene. Unknown to me, the stray bullet hit the boy. It was his twin brother who said, Daddy, stop, Taiwo has been shot. Then he said, as I parked to bring the boy out, the policemen and officials of the Oyo State Traffic Management Authority were running after me. In the process, I held on to one of them. People gathered and rushed the boy to the hospital, and from there, he was taken to UCH. Unfortunately, when we got there, he had given us the ghost. So one of the reporters asked him, are you a suspect? He said no. I found that question odd. He is not going to decide if he is a suspect. It's the police authorities who will decide.
That's right.
If it's how would you want to ask anybody if he's a suspect? Except maybe something else was intended, but the wrong words were used. And then he said, if I ever explained that one of the officials opened the back door and saw that there were kids in the vehicle, I didn't know they were chasing after Yahoo boys or not. I was just taking my children to school. There's nothing here that indicates another vehicle. The video that we saw, my reading of what I saw was that sometimes it appears that in the typical Nigerian habit, he took a wrong side of the road. He was about to be apprehended, and he thought he could outrace those people. We need to be very, very careful about obeying laws and being careful and knowing the kind of country we live in. There's enough blame to go around in this matter, and it takes a lot of it because apparently, whether you like it or not, he initiated all this. How he got into, because it was the traffic police, it was the traffic people. That was where the gunshot came from, not ordinary policemen on control, from what I saw. And anyway, he said the boy is a bright boy, he loves school, and so on and so forth. May his soul rest in peace. So, we heard that the IG has ordered a probe into the killing. Every time I hear this, I begin to wonder. So, if the IG didn't order a probe, there won't be a probe. But that's the way it runs. You know, the other day we had the NSA saying that the president has given directives. He's giving directives. You know, so anyway, but the police have issued a statement that they will get to the bottom of the story. It's a very, very sad development. I don't know how it's going to pan out because I don't know how it's going to pan out. We don't know in which direction is all going to go. But I think that the lesson I learned from this is that we all need to be very, very careful. We all need. There are some things you can do at the spur of the moment, and then before you know it, it could develop into a big crisis that could go completely haywire. I have a feeling that, yes, the guy tried to probably take the wrong side of the road. It happens a lot, even by the local government here, just for people to go and do the proper thing and go and turn at the roundabout. They decide to go one way so that they can go through the intersection and middle road. This is a bad habit. And there's a lot of that in Lagos. People driving on the wrong side of the road. Motorbikes, buses, korope, and sometimes very irresponsible private drivers. We all need to be very, very careful, Terry.
Yes, we all do. We all do need to be careful. May his soul rest in peace.
Amen.
If you don't have the stomach for it, don't even look for the video.
Don't look for the video if you don't have a stomach for it.
It's not a good thing to watch. All right, let's go take another story in the Vanguard, page 26 this time. For those of us who track news, you must have seen this video. Well, let's bring you the headline. Ramaphosa denies Trump's land confiscation genocide claims against white South Africans.
You know, without going into the history of what led to the meeting between Trump and Ramaphosa, I think that the Americans need to, halt their president to stop being a bully to those who visit him. First of all, he was the Ukrainian president. He tried to be a bully even with the UK president. I don't think it does America any good in the long run. I believe that what is always behind movements made by, apart from the American interest, is also justice and fair play. And also, America, at least if it wants to claim to be leading the world, then there has to be some element of fairness in the things that they do. And there must be respect and decency. If you watch how the Ukrainian president was being bullied, a whole president, well, is there a half president? There's none. It was even told by officials, not even the president, why are you dressed like this? I think America needs to be very careful. The only thing I blame Ramaphosa for, and when I say I blame, I put it in quote, he shouldn't even have bothered going to the White House. If I'm a president, I'm not going to go anywhere near where this gentleman is. We can write letters to each other. Because you don't know what rabbit is going to pull out of the hat. And if you are not so inclined, I heard some people have been making comments. What do you expect Ramaphosa to do? To start an argument with him? He can't do that. He's better, he's more composed and more comported. I think Ramaphosa did well. He behaved like the true gentleman expected of a president. And for those who criticize him, I'll tell you that 2 wrongs don't make a right. It's not all about fisticuffs. It's not all about proving at any point that you are right. I give him kudos. It was a very, very difficult situation. This is also a wake-up call for Africans. I've said it before and I repeat it again. If you don't take your fate into your own hands, if you continue to be beggarly, you whack all the things that you're supposed to use to develop your own people, then you go cap in hand everywhere, begging, throw yourself into a beggar. That is what you will get. You get to, and I hope Nigeria would also learn from this. The so-called romance you have with these Western countries, the truth of the matter is that you need to identify in the first instance what is their interest. It's very, very important. All this romance. And it's also a note of caution even to our own president. At the slightest opportunity, you are running to France. It has implications, especially in a region where our own brothers and neighbors are trying to liberate themselves from the shackles of these same people. This is a wake-up call. We need to get the OAU, run it as a very strong body, and Africa needs to talk with one voice. Africa needs to talk with one voice. Remember, this was the gentleman who said that it's a shithole country or continent. I can't remember which. And I think that a lot of it comes from the fact that our leaders don't respect themselves, don't have any iota of respect. He was talking to him as if he was a local government chairman. Even the local government chairman, even an individual. What did you think when you saw it?
I think that Ramaphosa handled himself pretty well.
He did.
I mean, the both of them that had been there and in court now, bullied by the American president, they handled themselves very, very well. Even Volodymyr did well.
Yes.
Because, look, even when what's the former Canadian Prime Minister's name, Trudeau, was going to respond to Trump's bully of tax and everything, he was even very, very presidential in his response. Trump is a showman. Trump want to grab the camera, want to grab the attention, want to grab the finest headlines and all of that. And this is what he thinks. That's how it should be.
That's how it should be. Yes.
And I mean, I totally and completely disagree with him when he talked about genocide and all of those things. He is a president of America who is funding genocide in Gaza as we speak right now. He is supervising killing of children and women in Gaza as we speak right now. So if anybody is going to accuse anybody of genocide, he should be accused of that, because by association and by support, he's guilty of what he's accusing Ramaphosa of doing. African leaders, like you said, must protect the interest of their people.
Yes.
Regardless of whatever or whose ox is God. They shouldn't care. Their people must come first, the way America is doing.
See, Sheriff, you see, part of the problem is that most African leaders, if not all, most African leaders are there representing somebody's interest. Not, I want somebody to tell me, an African leader. Maybe now that we're beginning to see things in Burkina Faso and maybe. But generally, most African leaders are puppets. And we condone them. They are puppets and we condone them. They have turned us into permanent serfs. And that's why there's no respect at all.
Oh, where's that coming from?
Who's that coming from? Could it be from Trump?
It's Trump. It's true. Oh my
God. I think I'm glad what happened yesterday happened, because it's a wake-up call. By now, I expect African leaders now to be phoning themselves. They don't need to have a big meeting in public, but they should start meeting to stop this onslaught on. And they also need to be careful, like somebody said, of this new relationship with Russia. There is nothing wrong in aligning with other countries,
Sure.
but you must know what you want, and you must know what you will not take from the beginning.
Right.
That is also part of the problem. The level of interference in the leadership in Africa is mind-boggling. You find them, they will give you leaders that they themselves cannot. Look at some of African leaders, assemble them in one line, and ask yourself whether how many of them would have been a leader in the Western world. Relics, old people, can stand up, extremely corrupt people. They push them on you. Africans need to wake up. We really, really, really do need to wake up.
I agree. Let's move on to our next story. It's in the Vanguard, page 9 of the Vanguard. And this story reads, Tinubu's meeting with Pope, insult to Christianity. Babachir Lawal.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Mr. Babachir Lawal should know that you don't play politics with everything under the sun. I think in the first instance, he wasn't there as a Muslim. Tinubu is a Muslim, yes. But he was there to represent Nigeria.
Right.
He wasn't there to represent himself. Babachir Lawal at his level should know that. If you want to take a dig at Tinubu, look for something else. As far as I'm concerned, he did well. He conducted himself very well. There were a few things, maybe that of his son being also wanted to shake the Pope and not being part of the delegation and so on and so forth. And I believe this man should rein in on his. How old is the gentleman?
Babachir Lawal.
No, the son.
I have no idea. I think it's in his 30s or so.
When I was in my 30s, I was kind of corporate affairs in a multinational. He needs to rein in on his son. All these things we are hearing involved in Nans beating up these things, they're not doing him any good. President Tinubu needs to know that. But that aside, I think he conducted himself well. I don't think the only other thing is we ought to know that provided us an opportunity to showcase ourselves. He should have gone in the full complement of Agbada and not a suit. Some people said he looked dandy. Some people said he looked that. For God's sake, Africans, we need to get this thing going. We need to get this thing going. He's not an Englishman. He was representing Nigeria and he should have won something Nigerian. Excuse me. Don't let's get carried away by some. I've heard our colleagues, some say he was looking dandy and dapper. It's not dapper that is the issue. It's the representation of your country. And I believe he could have won a complete Agbada or any national dress. That would have been my preferred option. But aside from that, he did a very good showing. I don't agree with Babachir Lawal at all. If you want to contradict, if you want to criticize President Tinubu, he has to look for some other reasons to say so. Because this is Babachir Lawal said that he kept saying it is not as if it's a major achievement to visit the Pope on his inauguration. Babachir Lawal, you are secretary to the government. You know that it's an achievement in the sense that Nigeria at least is still able to showcase itself at that level. So don't try to water it down or look as if it's no big deal. And he said that it is not as if it's a major achievement to visit the Pope. It can be arranged advanced by lobby. So what? Some are arranged that doesn't take place. So, and he said that Tinubu's meeting with the Pope further reinforced his sentiment that a Muslim ticket was an insult to Christians. How is that related to this one? I would have thought it's the other way around. Mm-hmm. That is President Tinubu is not Muslim. I don't know. But, his wife is a pastor, for God's sake. One thing you can't accuse him of is religious intolerance. I will not join anybody in accusing him of that. When you could use the word insensitivity, those are two different things. Intolerance is different from insensitivity. When you talk about insensitivity, you talk about the ops. I think President Tinubu doesn't He's not too keen on ops, the way things turn out. Once he wants something, he wants it, and that's it. Well, that's the way he goes. That's why he's president, and I'm not. I mean,
Yes. So.
He said, according to Babacha Lawal, the president would not have attended the event if he had a Christian as vice president. This is a very, very shallow and infantile argument. Look for something.
I mean, okay.
It's infantile and very shallow. Very, very shallow. From somebody at that level. I'm not impressed.
I mean, he had to say something.
He didn't have to say anything. You criticize everything that the man does? It's not as if he gets it wrong all the time.
He's trying to play the opposition, so he had to say something.
But that sometimes, you see, when you are the opposition, you must show that you are credible and objective. If it's right, you say so. Opposition doesn't mean hack him down at every opportunity.
Unfortunately, Nigeria's opposition means that.
No. Opposition even can work with can agree with the president on certain things that, these things you are doing, they are very, very nice. Indeed, we believe you can add X, Y, Z to it. After all, what we are talking about, opposition, is that we want the betterment for our people. And so if you have your opposition and you're on the right path, it's the same thing with what people think of the media. And therefore, when I got a lot of flack during Fashola's time, when most times I would agree with what he has done and so on and so forth, I got a lot of flack. He has been bought. He has been given money. Fashola is a cousin. What didn't I hear? Maybe they played ball together in Surulere. I started wearing glasses from the age of 8. So once in a while, maybe I find myself in two goalkeepers, I1, I2, and that's all. So I get a lot of things. People, you see, opposition doesn't mean that you hack down everything that the guy does. No. And Babacha Lawal, former secretary to the government, that high, he should have known better.
Yeah. 7:52. Let's go take this editorial in the Vanguard newspaper. No to mandatory voting.
Yes, the Vanguard disagrees with mandatory voting, the new bill. I don't know what I think. I'm just thinking and hoping that maybe if it was mandatory, we could get more people to express themselves. Because the apathy, and it's going to be exhibited in 2027, the apathy, and that's exactly what politicians want. Because when you don't come to vote, you give them enough votes for maneuvering. So, yes, I'm one of those who feel inclined that maybe for 10 years or so, let's try and make it compulsory. Because the apathy, the percentage of people who vote in the population, it doesn't make any sense. If you have 25% voting for a whole 100%, what do you get? So, and when they say, when it is said that there's mandatory voting, it means you have the right to go there and even tear your ballot paper to say, I don't want to vote, but we want to know what you think. Therefore, I am in support. But the Vanguard says, no. They say, for example, that failure to vote in Brazil could lead to fines, disqualification from taking professional exams, and denial of application for passport or loans. But Vanguard says that as they see it, sponsors of the bill are just trying to copy and paste democratic practices that do not necessarily fit into the Nigerian circumstance. Maybe, but let's try it. They just want to have a bill to their names without demanding about the relevance. I think we should look beyond that. I think, again, the Vanguard editorial team should look at the merits and demerits of it rather than look at the reasons why people want this bill. And if there are areas that we have, you don't agree with, let's look at it and tinker with it. As far as I'm concerned, the Vanguard says, kill that bill, and I say, revive that bill, or keep that bill alive. Where do you vote?
Kill the bill. Kill Bill. There's a movie called Kill Bill, by the way.
Are you talking of the movie? Are you talking about
now? This bill, it could have made sense in Brazil, in other countries that they do it, but in Nigeria it makes absolutely
why is Nigeria
absolutely
different?
Zero sense.
What is it that they do in Brazil? Who
incidentally
are people?
I will just give you one.
One.
Just one.
One.
Are people denied of voting, even when they come out to vote during elections?
Come again.
Are people denied?
Are people denied
Of voting, even when they come out on their own to come and vote?
But that's a
Are
reason.
they chased away?
No. That's not a good reason to say that it shouldn't be made compulsory that you should vote.
Let me tell you why it's a perfect reason.
Why?
Because at the end of the day, such people will now be punished for not
Which
voting.
people?
Such people that were denied of voting will now be punished for not voting. When somebody was there with cutlass and everything, chasing them away, you now later on you now punish them for not voting.
Well, we can walk around.
Walking in.
Walking in it. It looks as if you wanted to flop. It looks as if you wanted to flop me there, but I said, I know, I have to put up. I'm a shanty person. I have to put up a fight. I'm coming back to you before the end of the week.
They should tidy up the process first. Make it convenient for people to vote.
I think
you will see that Nigerians will come. You don't even need to convince anybody.
I think I'm looking forward to the day when you'll be able to download an app and press a button on your phone and vote.
Exactly. So we have schools whereby if you want to take forms, once you submit it like this, you cannot call it back again. That's an example of you can vote and you cannot do multiple voting. For instance,
maybe we should have because we have BVN now and we have NINs.
You have all of those things. I'm sure there are ways.
Maybe over time we make it compulsory. You must have a NIN, and then that NIN. You have an app and you can vote in the comfort of your home. So the Oro and all these things will not matter. It will
not matter anymore. Even if we're scared of so these things can be hacked and all of those things.
Can we say that we have met ourselves halfway?
Yes, we have.
Let us
yes, pictures, please.
Pictures, please. Mr. Quadry. We're done. Like they say, my people in Benin. We're done. We're done.
No, honestly.
I guess so. But it's something that we could have at the back of our minds, Sheriff. The level of apathy is appalling. I mean, the kind of percentages you get is worrying. You will see what will happen in 2027. Most people will be watching Netflix and Prime Video. There'll be so much apathy. Are you going to vote in 2027?
I'll be working. I mean, if I could get out to go and vote, yes. We do this marathon thing, So now? I will be here. Don't say that now. That one has passed. Let's focus on the future.
Mariam and I still have a
I said I will be here now. I will be here in 2027.
I will start crying here now.
I will be here.
This lady, it's so funny. It ran away. Left me with Mariam and Helen Emore. We're weeping here.
I'll be here. We'll do it together.
All right.
We have to go now, though.
Yeah, we
really have to go. But you're back at 9.
I'm back at 9, yes.
Okay, Lagos, thank you for being a part of this. It's been fun. Kofi is next with the remaining hour of the morning crossfire. Stay with us, please, on Nigeria Info.
.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.